But when people come back into their lives, when people go into their lives and bring up their mistakes from their past, that kind of reopens that emotional wound, bringing about things from the past. When, like you say, you're in an argument, and then that one, part eight, number one and number two are in an argument, but number two keeps bringing up number one's past about this thing that they did from like 10 years back. And that kind of reminds me about everything about the cancel culture and everything that people be doing. And it just reminds me about why do people do that, and how much pain and weight have they been putting on their shoulders for that long. Because if you're getting into an argument and you're using someone's past as, let's say, like, yes, people make a lot of mistakes. I'm not justifying everything that everyone does, but if I make a bad mistake, let's say I was drinking and driving tomorrow, and then 10 years later I do everything I got to do I do everything I got to do to make sure I don't, put myself in that position again. I take tests, classes, research. I prove myself to many, 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 many people that I'm never going to do that again. Heck, God comes down himself and says Brian's not going to do this again. But for some weird reason, I get into one minor fender bender when I'm almost in a car accident, like bad, like there's a bad snowstorm and anything. For some weird reason, let's say I get into a conflict with someone, whether it's a friend or whatever, they may bring up that one incident that I was drinking and driving that one day. Disregard the snowstorm, disregard the changes I made, disregard all of that. So when, let's say, relationships, whether it's friendships or couples, when they would get into an argument and they would bring up things from the past, it kind of comes with the whole, did they forgive you when you made those mistakes? And are they willing to forgive you for your future mistakes? Because we're human, we make more mistakes. So if people are in relationships, whether it's friendships or couples, and they're still bringing up things from the past, when you've forgiven yourself, when you've proven to them, and they've even said, I'm so proud of you for making these changes in your lives, yet when you make a mistake 5 years later, and it's not even of the same magnitude as your previous mistake, but they still judge you from that other one, that kind of it just resonates in my brain. Like, did they really forgive you? Are they really appreciative of the changes you made? Or are they a part of a community that is willing to just, again, cancel and just knock people down as soon as they make the slightest error in their life? So you have to be able to watch out for those kind of people when you, like you said, like, it's not just seeing people at their best, but seeing people at their worst. And not it's not always seeing people at their best or their worst, but how people see you at your best and your worst. So that's when you really have to be cautious about who you hang out with and who you spend a lot of time with. Yeah, I agree. Like, anytime someone has some sort of like mistake or error in their lives, that causes a wound in them emotionally, and they do whatever steps they got to do to heal that wound, whether it's, friends helping them out or an external thing. And then when they finally make those official final steps, that wound is now closed, and now it's left as an emotional scar. But when people come back into their lives, when people go into their lives and bring up their mistakes from their past, that kind of reopens that emotional wound. And if you keep bringing up that past more and more and more, no matter how much you've overcome your past, you've just become more like, I feel like you never get rid of your demons. You just um develop the strength to always conquer them every single day, because there's always going to be something, someone that's always trying to bring you down. Like, I feel like the devil never sleeps until, I'm sad or I'm mad or I give into this thing. So I just feel like I'm at a state where I don't allow that being or whatever to affect me negatively every single day. But if I always hear that one person talk about that one mistake I made 5 years ago, I'm gonna be like, oh shoot, maybe I am not as strong as I thought I was. And then another person brings up another mistake. Oh shoot, maybe I'm not as smart as I was, or maybe I don't have what it takes. And then before you know it, my self-esteem gets lower and lower and lower. That emotional scar is reopened now, and the devil's coming into my life. And before you know it, I'm a miserable wreck. So, like, if you bring up that past mistakes and trauma of anyone, it reopens that emotional wound, and it makes them even more susceptible to pain than they were before, because it's one thing to ask someone or do something and fail right away than to like accept, then to accomplish a task, overcome something and then fail and then can't get back to where you used to be. So that kind of feeling is just it's suffering. It's painful.
Yeah. See, we building something special straight from scratch. Always bringing awareness to you, cause we always got your back. Self-improvement is the emphasis, patience is an element. Now is the time for you to unlock your potential excellence.